A nation knows how to mourn. But what happens when mourning is paused? Picture a country standing still, flags half-mast, speeches written, drums quiet, waiting for a farewell that just hasn't arrived yet. 8 months after his death, Edgar Lungu is still not buried. And not because Zambians have forgotten him, but because power, law, and legacy have collided. And no one wants to blink first. And remember, if you want more Africa First stories the Western media ignores, hit subscribe. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how a burial has become a referendum on authority, sovereignty, and memory in modern Africa.
Today's sitting is for the purpose of delivering the judgment, and the three judges agree or unanimously agree to the order to be granted. Hence, I'm sitting alone today. It's not necessary for the other two judges to be present. I'll read the summary for the benefit of the media in the reporting of the case, and this summary does not form part of the judgment. And a copy of the judgment will be made available to the parties, and those who are also interested in the copy of the judgment will contact my secretary. The summary goes as follows. In the matter of the government of the Republic of Zambia versus Esther Lungu and others. The background to the dispute is as follows. The late President Lungu passed away in Johannesburg, South Africa on the 5th of June 2025 while undergoing medical treatment. The Zambian government immediately announced that a state funeral with full military honors would be accorded to the former president, and it designated Embassy Park in Lusaka, the official burial site for Zambian presidents, as a place of interment. In the days following his passing, representatives of the Zambian government held discussions with the Lungu family, the first to seventh respondents being the former president's widow and children, regarding the repatriation of his remains to Zambia. During the discussions, an agreement was reached and documented in an agreement that the late president's body would be transported from South Africa to Zambia on the 18th of June 2025 to lie in state and for the state funeral to be held before the burial at Embassy Park. However, on 18 June 2025, the very day repatriation was to occur, the family refused to proceed and decided that the late president would instead be buried in South Africa in a private family ceremony. In response, the government of Zambia urgently approached the High Court in Pretoria to secure an order compelling the preservation and release of the late president's body for repatriation to Zambia.
So, here are the facts, clean and unavoidable, right? Former Zambian President Edgar Lungu died at the age of 68 on June 5th, 2025 in South Africa, where he had traveled for medical treatment. And since then, his body has not returned home to Zambia. Instead, Zambia entered a unprecedented limbo, right? Caught between courts, politics, and a family that refuses or has refused so far to yield, right? In August, the Pretoria High Court ruled decisively Lungu's body must be returned to Zambia for a state funeral. The judges rejected the family's request for burial in South Africa. They denied the appeal, right? They affirmed that Zambian law applies and that national interest outweighs private preference. So on paper, the matter was settled, but in reality, it had only begun. So Africa has buried kings for centuries. What it wasn't prepared for was a court scheduled farewell with political conditions attached. So the public think this is about a grieving family, a legal dispute, a tragic delay. And this is a struggle over who controls legacy. The family objects to the attendance of President Hakainde Hichilema at the funeral, right? 2 state funerals were planned and both were canceled. Now, a fresh approach to South Africa's Supreme Court of Appeal has stalled repatriation again. And this isn't procedural confusion, it's a standoff between state authority and family sovereignty and unresolved political history. So this matters beyond Zambia and African politics because burial is never neutral. Funerals are statements of legacy, rituals of closure, transfers of memory. Who stands at the podium matters, who carries the coffin matters, who controls the narrative after death matters most, right? So even in death, power negotiates. And let's talk about consequences, not speculation. So national closure has been delayed. The nation can't move forward while the past remains unburied. State mourning without burial becomes suspended grief, and a suspended grief turns into political tension. Additionally, we have to look at the rule of law on display. The Pretoria High Court's ruling was clear. Zambian law governs a Zambian president's burial. So this sets a precedent. National sovereignty does not dissolve at death or at the border. And then political memory is at risk as well because every delay feeds speculation. Was this about dignity, control, fear of symbolism? Silence invites interpretation, and interpretation rewrites history. So Africa is often accused of clinging to strongmen, but here the state is asking for one thing only, to finish the sentence. And we'll have to look at what happens next because there's 3 paths that remain. First, legal exhaustion. So if South Africa's Supreme Court of Appeal declines to intervene, the ruling stands, right? And then secondly, political compromise, a negotiated funeral framework that preserves dignity without rewriting authority. And then thirdly, continued limbo, which is the most damaging option because the longer this drags on, the less it's about Edgar Lungu and the more it becomes about unresolved power struggles among the living. And in previous Africa Power reports, we've spoken about how African states struggle not with transitions of power, but transitions of memory. And this is that struggle in real time. So inshallah, next episodes, we'll examine how state funerals across Africa have quietly shaped political futures long after the speeches end. And here's the truth. A nation's strength is not only shown in how it governs the living, but in how it honors the dead. So closure is not a favor. It's a responsibility. Right? So, mashallah, that's your African insight for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I'm Mr.EmpowerTV. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. This is Mr. Empower, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.